Are you a commercial microgreen grower looking to take your business to the next level? Look no further than Modern Grower for all your seed needs. At shop.moderngrower.co, we offer an extensive range of top-quality organic microgreen seeds, including popular varieties like sunflower, pea, broccoli, radish, and many more. But what sets our seeds apart? It's our unwavering commitment to quality and your success. Every batch of our seeds undergoes rigorous pathogen testing, ensuring you're working with the cleanest, safest products available. We're proud to offer 100% organic seeds, perfect for growers committed to sustainable and natural practices. And let's talk about results. Our seeds boast industry-leading germination rates, meaning more consistent crops and less waste for your business. Plus, we understand that growing is both an art and a science. That's why we offer advanced technical support to help you troubleshoot any issues and optimize your production. At Modern Grower, we believe in providing the best for less. That's why we offer competitive pricing without compromising on quality. Your success is our success. Ready to elevate your microgreen game? Visit shop.moderngrower.co today and use code PODCAST at checkout to save 10% on your next order. That's shop.moderngrower.co, promo code PODCAST. Grow better, grow modern with Modern Grower.
And if you had to choose between keeping a perennial ground cover in place and adding compost to supplement the soil from the top, which one would you choose? Obviously, the perennial ground cover has some advantages, like it's less work. You plant it once and it keeps working forever underneath the ground. But there's also some types of plants and commercial crops that a perennial ground cover would be cumbersome with. So could you mimic the perennial ground cover with something like compost teas if you couldn't have a perennial ground cover at the same time as a cash crop, just given how these crops grow?
Yeah, and it's got to be a decision on the part of the person who owns the garden, who owns that soil, that land. Which one do you feel more comfortable doing? And I, of course, being a lazy gardener, I want to do as little work as possible. I'd much rather go swimming for the whole entire summer than be, pulling weeds out. So I'm always going to pick the permanent cover so that there's not a lot of work there for me to do. But if that's not somebody's choice, that, it's too difficult trying to figure out all the combinations. Well, then putting down the compost as a mulch, that's a really good way to suppress all of those weeds. Just make sure it's a thick enough layer. And then you've got to monitor it, because a lot of times the weather conditions are such that nice thick layer of mulch is going to almost disappear within 2 or 3 weeks, and it's gone, and you've lost your disease suppressive layer. So, get back out there and put the mulch on again. Put out the compost teas, the compost extracts. Teas typically go on the foliage, where you might, certainly if in the past you've had a problem with a disease or a pest of some kind, protect the above ground part of your plant so that there's no surface that disease or pest organism can attack. So they'll go someplace else. They won't even recognize that your favorite crop is down there. They're going to go elsewhere because those insects home in on the compounds that are released by sick and an unhealthy plant. Insects are looking for something that's not doing well. And so I've always thought of those insects as being, or those disease-causing fungi, as being messages from Mother Nature about there's something wrong with the plant, there's something wrong with the soil, it's not getting the nutrition, it's not getting the protective compounds, so pay attention. And if you don't pay attention, Mother Nature is going to take a bigger amount of your plants next year, and the year after, it's going to be the whole acre, and the year after that, well, you can grow something else for the next period of time because you're not paying attention to what nature is trying to tell you.
Let's say you are in a crop rotation where you have a bed out of production for some period of time. you grow a cover crop in it, and then you just rotate around between cover crops and cash crops. In the cover crop beds, how would you deal with that cover crop? Do you think there's a preference here between when you go to terminate the cover crop, you could either one, just mow it down or chop and drop it, leave it in place to just decompose on soil surface, or option two would be when you want to terminate that cover crop, you could just cut it off at ground level, leave the roots in the ground, take the tops, compost them somewhere else, and then reintroduce that compost back onto that plot.
Yeah, I'm always going to walk around both of those. Okay. I'm going to take the third option, which is to not even have that cover crop step in the rotation. There is no need to do that if you're constantly growing this permanent, perennial understory set of plants, because they're putting back into the soil all of those the organic matter that your plants are going to need. They're developing and building structure in that soil. So oxygen moves into the soil and goes as deep as it possibly can. Water infiltrates such that half of all of those pores are filled with water. The other half is filled with air. And you couldn't ask for a better soil if you can get that done. So I just don't even want to think about leaving a quarter of my land or half of my land in without something growing in it that I can make money from.
Right.
Okay, as long as you're maintaining soil, you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about crimping and mowing or buying the seed every year.
Right.
You have to go out and buy those annual plants. You put them in, you get them to grow, and then you chop them down. Doesn't that just seem kind of nonsensical?
If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.